I'm just going to quickly show you my arcade 1-up. This is the one that I've modded with a PlayStation 4. It's a bit of an unusual choice. Normally people use something like a Raspberry Pi or an old PC. So I'm just going to quickly show you some of the things on it and the reasons why I've done it. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of keep it looking pretty much like how the arcade 1-up came in the first place, but and what I mean by that is just keep it for 6 buttons, so that keeps everything simple. I like to include a small ginger dog hair underneath the crouch section of the joystick there. I've got player 1 button, player 2 button, and the other 2 buttons, what they do is they basically, you can bring you into the menu. So this is one of the reasons why you only got 3 Street Fighter games with the arcade 1-up. So I wanted, like all of the old ones right up until Third Strike. So that's kind of one of the reasons why. Now I could have done that with a Raspberry Pi really, but I kind of wanted a bit more than that. I wanted some modern games as well really, but this gave me the ability to play stuff like Street Fighter Alpha and which you just can't do on just on the stock arcade 1-up. The other reason why I changed it was because the way the old arcade 1-up Street Fighter machines came, there was a little bit of a sound issue. So I had a choice of either kind of starting to do the solder fix on that to fix the sound, but I just couldn't be bothered with that without actually modding the machine itself really, just to play. Having Street Fighter 4 was a big thing really, and even to run something like Street Fighter 4 you've really got to have a PC that's like okay. So I just didn't have one of those about the house at all, so I just thought, what, I've got a PlayStation 4, I'm just going to use that.
The fight card is filled in.
Now, of course, I had to have Street Fighter 5. That's the most recent Street Fighter game that there is. Again, to run Street Fighter 5, you really need a half-decent PC to do it. It just seemed to be the cheaper option, just to have, use what I've got, which, as I say, is it's a PlayStation. Now, how I've done this with the PlayStation, I actually had a couple of Venom sticks, which I just wasn't using them on the PlayStation at all. It was just that whole hassle of getting them out, and I just wasn't using them. So I just basically took those to bits and I put them into the arcade machine. A lot of Street Fighter fans aren't that keen on Street Fighter 5. I think it's amazing, and I just also I get to have Ryu with a beard, and I'm built a lot like Ryu, so that's always nice. Tekken 7 is another really good fighting game, which I just thought, if I'm going to have a fighting arcade machine, I kind of wanted all of the big ones really. So the Tekkens, the Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, all of those more modern titles as well. The more modern versions of those games. And I had to have Mortal Kombat 11. Even though I'm really rubbish at it, it's just, I actually did have the arcade 1-up Mortal Kombat machine, but I don't know what it is, but because I'm so used to the Street Fighter controls, it's just so difficult for me to kind of go from one of those to the other. And I just thought, what, I'd rather have just one fighting machine and just have kind of all of the fighting games on there, rather than have a Mortal Kombat machine and a Street Fighter machine. Marvel vs. Capcom is another great fighter. it's just really different again, and it's some of the crazy combos and things are just really good, and it's just another real, you know, fun one to play whenever you've got friends round. King of Fighters is another great one. Love this game, absolutely amazing. Another great one to play whenever you've got friends round is Streets of Rage. So again, this kind of gives me the ability, because of having a PlayStation in the arcade one-up, is to play the most recent Streets of Rage game. So yeah, I'm just another absolutely amazing beat 'em up, and it's just kind of got that old school feel to it, but with polished graphics. Which, to be honest, a lot of these new fighting games, they're still very similar to the old, you know, the old ones, but it's just really the graphics that's been updated, but it's all still, you know, side scrolling. So that's really about it for this video. I just really wanted to show kind of the main games there, really. So any questions to do with the mod, just ask in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe!